Hello and welcome to a normal review of the Canon 85mm f1.8 USM prime lens. Now this lens here I've had for a good 2 years now, and it has been probably one of the most used lenses in my kit. I find it's a really useful focal length for parties and events. If you're thinking about buying this, I'm not going to bore you with the stats and the specs because you can look those up. It's got a nice long range, which is great. You can sort of stand back and get nice candid shots with it. The low light capabilities are fantastic as well. You don't really need a lot of light to get pretty decent shots with it. It doesn't have any stabilization, so you may need to be extra careful about that. But generally I find that the f1.8 is more than enough to get the shots you need. I'm just going to give you a bit of a tour of the lens, just using my phone. So here it is. You can see on the side there it's got the autofocus, manual focus switch. It's got a little window there, which is cool. It's the focus range indicator. Ultrasonic lens, and some junk on the back there, and Canon blah blah blah. So, and you can see it's a nice big element, so you can see my notes there, make that out. It's a huge big fat element on there. There's a lot of glass in there, so yeah, it definitely looks quite mean. So it's quite a small lens. It's definitely not going to take up a lot of space in your bag, which is cool. It's nice and light, which is great, because when you've got a few lenses in your bag, you don't want to have like back problems and stuff from carrying too many lenses. It's a good size, you know, it's not flimsy, it's you know, it's plastic on the outside, but it feels nice and solid and heavy. It's got a metal mount, which is great, and I've never had any issues with it feeling dodgy. The price range for this lens is about 400 US, which I think for a lot of people means that it's going to be one of the first lenses that they consider getting once they get a new body or a camera as a step up from the kit lens. It's definitely worth it in terms of the price, I think, for what you're getting. I have no problems with paying that amount for a lens like this. It's the sort of thing that you pay for once and you never sell, because it's just a cheap, pretty reliable go-to lens for a good range of situations. I've used it a lot for portraits for people because I really like the way it throws the background out of focus, and yeah, I've found it to be excellent for that. And any sort of low light situation like a party or an event or a concert or anything where you just need, you know, that shutter speed to be pretty high, that's a good lens for it. So it's a full frame lens, so if you've got a full frame camera, that's cool. It will fit on there and it will be 85mm. Obviously if you've got a crop sensor, then it's about 120, so it's a bit longer or something like that, I don't know. So it's a bit longer. You may like that, you may not, but it's good on a full frame. I shoot it on a full frame, and I do find that it's a pretty useful range. You can sort of stand back and you can, you know, capture the action from a distance, which is what a sort of longer one is good for. The autofocus I find is very accurate and very fast. It's got a USM motor in there, which means it's nice and quiet and very quick to find its target, and it most of the time will hit that target pretty accurately. I haven't really noticed any issues with that, as long as you sort of know your autofocus points, and you know, you can sort of hit it most times. I find that it's super sharp when you stop it down. At 1.8, it's, you know, when it's wide open, it's okay. It's not really the sharpest, but you know, not many lenses are, and especially for this price, what you're getting in terms of image quality is really good. If you stop it down to 2.8, something like that, it is very, very sharp and competes with, you know, the very best of the lenses out there. In terms of aperture, like you've got the Canon L series, you know, 1.4, 1.2, but those run into the thousands of dollars, and you are probably not interested in spending that much at this stage. And the results you can get from something like this are just as good. They really you know, there is a difference, but it's not a huge difference, and it certainly for me hasn't been $1,000 worth of difference. Construction wise, I think, you know, it's one of their cheaper lenses, but it's not badly made. The focus ring is nice and smooth. It's a full-time autofocus, so if you got it on auto and you want to tweak it a bit, you can. Also has the option for manual, which is cool if you're into that. I found the lens to be quite cheap and useful, so if you're thinking about stepping up from a kit lens to your first prime or second prime, it's definitely worth looking into. I know there's a lot of alternatives out there like Sigma and stuff like that. Those are equally as good. I mean, I'm sure that makes your decision even harder if you're thinking about buying this lens, but it's definitely one which I haven't regretted purchasing. So that's really all there is to it. If you're thinking about it, fully recommend it. Definitely have a play with one. If someone's got one that you can borrow, have a play with it before you buy your own. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've got any questions then jump into the comments, and we'll see you next time.